Good morning, dear children. Myself, Mrs. Tanushri Burman. I'll take your history session. And in my previous two sessions, we had already started with the Harappan civilization, your first lesson. And in the first and second session, we had started with the chapter. We had seen the meaning of civilization. We had studied the sources of information about Harappan civilization. We have seen Great Bath, seals, script, bearded man, dancing girl, isn't it? We have seen all the sources of information. We have seen the extent of the civilization and the Chalcolithic period and the Bronze Age period. Then four civilizations which come under Bronze Age civilization. Yes or no? Then apart from it, we saw the extent, right? Then we saw the 6 cities which come under Harappan civilization, and in that I had already shown to you that 4 cities belong to India, present India, and 2 cities belong to Pakistan. So we had seen till there the extent, and today we will see urban planning. We will continue with our session and the lesson in fact, and we will see the remaining part of the chapter. We will see urban planning. How we can say that Harappan civilization had gone through the urban planning stage. Okay, why do we say it as urban planning? We'll just go through the PPT. Yes, see, the Indus cities followed grid pattern. Okay, cities follow grid pattern means, see, how are your grids, like this and like this. Okay, they follow the grid pattern. Then each city was divided into 2 parts, citadel and lower town. Now children, if you remember, while studying the sources, I had already explained you about the citadel. Citadel is the upper part and raised area of the city, and the lower part is there. So the city is basically divided into 2 parts, that is a citadel and the lower part. Okay, so citadel and the lower part. Then streets are also followed a grid pattern. So houses also follow a grid pattern. Apart from that, streets also follow a grid pattern. Okay. Then houses at street corners were rounded to allow carts to pass easily. Okay. Now suppose the structure of the house is like this. Okay, now instead of having a corner like this, okay, now suppose the roads are taking a corner like this. Okay, then the house is being rounded up like this to allow the cars pass easily from here. Okay, so instead of having it in the square format, this house were curved at the corners to allow the cars pass easily. Okay, then house drains emptied all wastewater into the street drain. Now see, drains. Now see, today also your bathroom and toilet, all the drainage is being connected to the main drainage, isn't it? So like that, during the Harappan civilization also, house drains emptied all wastewater into the street drains. So there were street drains, and particularly the house drains were emptied into the street drains. Okay. Then house drains were connected to the main drain at regular intervals. It had manholes for inspection and cleaning. Provision of drainage clearly indicates their concern about sanitation and health. So they are talking that, they are saying that manholes were also there for inspection and checking. See, today also we have manholes. You must have seen while walking on the road, some manholes are there. Those manholes are generally for those purposes only, for checking, or some stuff is being stuck over there to remove all those things, to check the sanitation of that particular drain. So to do all these activities, these manholes are there. Okay, so manholes were seen during that time only. That's why we see all these features were there during the Harappan civilization. It means that we can call it as urban planning. So all these characteristics are there in today's generation also, in today's civilization also. That is why it is called as urban civilization. Okay, we'll just revise once again why the Harappan civilization is called as a urban planning. First, the houses follow the grid pattern like this. Then citadel. The society is divided into two parts. The raised area is called the citadel and the lower part is there, and all the important public buildings were there in citadel, and the ruling class also lived on the citadel. Then streets also followed the grid pattern. Then the houses were curved at the corners to allow the carts to pass easily. Then drains, the house drains emptied all their drainage wastage into the street drains. Then there were manholes for the drains at particular intervals to check about the sanitation. If there is any problem to clear out, there was at time intervals there were inspection of these manholes so that they can have proper check about the sanitation and health of the people. So because of all these characteristics, it is called as urban planning. Okay, we move on to the next slide. Okay, now we'll see the houses. This is about the urban planning. Okay, now we'll see particularly the houses, the characteristics of the houses. How were the houses of Harappan civilization? Okay, these two are very important questions. Urban planning, write about the urban planning of Harappan civilization, and write about the characteristics of the houses of Harappan civilization. Now don't get confused between urban planning and the points of houses. Now we'll see how were the houses of the Harappan civilization. Just have a look at the PPT. Residential buildings were built on high mound to protect from floods. So it was built on high mound. Now, if you have seen the construction of a house, you will see one foundation is there at the base. Okay, and from here the walls start. Okay, this is the foundation, and here all things are stuffed, mud or something like that. Okay, so this is the foundation of the house, and from here your house starts. Okay, and this is the foundation. Okay, now this very little nowadays. Okay, it is not raised up to a particular height, means very minimum height. It goes up to a minimum height. But during the Harappan civilization, this was taken to a very great height. If we are taking this for nowadays, maybe they were taking the height of this much to a height. Okay, it was taken on a high mound to protect it from floods, so that if flood water is also coming, their house will be protected. Okay, then houses were spacious with rooms and bathrooms. So their house were very spacious. It was not congested. Okay, then each house had covered drains connected with street drains. Then each house had drains which was connected to the street drains. Houses were single double storied. Then it was a single storied or double storied. Okay. Houses had courtyard and kitchen. So courtyard was there for every house, and kitchen was also placed in a safe corner. Next, houses were made of wood and brick. So what was the material used for making the houses? Wood and brick. Then each house had doors and windows. Doors and windows open on the side of the street and not on the main roads. So there were doors and windows for each house, and doors and windows opened on the streets and not on the main roads. Okay, so these are the characteristics of the houses. We'll just revise once again what are the characteristics of houses of the Harappan civilization. The houses were built on a high mound to protect the houses from floods, so that if at all they experience heavy floods, then they don't face any problem because their house will be at a height. Okay. Then each house was very spacious. It was not congested like today's houses. It was very big and spacious. Then each house emptied their drains, their wastage into the street drains. Then their houses were single storied or double storied. Each house had a courtyard and kitchen. Then the houses were made of wood and brick. There were for each house had doors and windows, and the doors and windows did not open on the main road. It opened on the streets. Now suppose one house is there Now suppose, okay, now suppose I am just giving an example. This is the house. Just take an example. I know my drawing is not that good. Just bear with me. So if this is the house, okay. Now from here, suppose main road is going. This is the main road. Okay. Now suppose if at all they doors and windows are there. Now here and here they will not have doors and windows. They will have doors and windows this side, because here streets are there. Okay, this is the main road. So since this is the main road, they will not have doors and windows on this side. They will have it on the other side where it is faced to street. It is facing streets. That side they will have their doors and windows. Okay, I think the characteristics of houses are very much clear, children. Now we'll see the next part of it. We'll move ahead. Now, houses, we have seen about the houses. Now, trade. How was the trade? Now, see, we can say it very confidently, trade was existing in Harappan civilization, because if you remember, children, in the beginning part of the lesson itself, I told you there was surplus production. Okay, now when there is surplus production but natural, they will trade it to someone. Okay, now see, children, if suppose I have a farm. Now suppose this is my farm. Okay, since the land is very fertile, there is ample of production. Say about 100 kgs of rice I have. Okay, in my farm. But I require only 10 kgs. I require only 10 kgs for my family. The remaining 90 kgs, do you think I should waste that 90 kg? No, naturally not. And this man has started from very beginning. When I have 90 kg remaining with me, of course I will try this 90 kg to sell it to someone. Yes or no? Because I want money for the 90 kg, and the money which I will earn, I will incur other expenses from that money. Okay, and one trait of civilization itself is that surplus production. So when I have this surplus production, I will sell it in the market. This selling of my production, somewhere or the other, I will trade with someone. In exchange, I will take something else from that person to whom I am giving this food grain. Yes or no? So this trade was existing during the Harappan civilization. Now we'll just have a look at the trade. Okay, how was the trade? See PPT. Granaries, seals, script, regulated weight and measures in a wide area indicate the existence of a highly developed system of trade. Now granaries were there where grains were kept, maintained, okay, all these things were there. Apart from that, seals were there. When we were studying sources of information, we had seen that when goods were sealed, okay, goods were sealed, that time seals were stamped on that. Okay, seals were there on that. So this seals, script, on the script also plants were inscribed. So this shows that abundance of food grains were there. Okay, so through the seals, scripts, granaries, okay, all these things we come to know that they had an efficient trade system. They had uniform weights and measures also. Now, Harappans not only traded with other parts of India but also with other countries in Asia. So their import and export business was not limited to India alone. They had trading relations with other countries of Asia. Okay. Then barter system was used by them, that traded stone, metal, shell, etc. Now barter system was used, barter system, you know, exchanging goods for goods. That is, money was not there that time. That is why, suppose I am giving you sugar, you are giving me food grain, okay, some other dal or jawar or bajra, like that. That is known as barter system. The Harappans used barter system for exchange, okay. Then Mohenjo-daro, Harappa and Lothal were important centers for metallurgy. Tools, kitchenware and other objects were produced here. So this Mohenjo-daro, Harappa, these were the two cities where goods made out of metals were produced on a large number, and goods from here were then exported to the other areas. Okay. Now see the trade. Okay, this weighing machine was used by the Harappan people. You can see it in the picture. Then rice was imported from Gujarat to Punjab. So rice was imported from Gujarat. Okay, so Gujarat used to give rice and Punjab used to take rice. Okay. Then Lothal and Surkotada provided cotton. Balakot and Chandudaru were centers for bangle making. Lothal and Chandudaru manufactured beads. They had a trading colony in northern Afghanistan. So all these places had their specifications. Some places had their own specifications of manufacturing the goods. Mesopotamia traded with Meluha, ancient name of the Indus region. Then export and import was done during this period. Gold was imported from Karnataka and Afghanistan, copper from Rajasthan, South India, Baluchistan, Arabia, lead from East and South India. So these are the different products and from where they were imported. Okay, so this is all about the trade. This is just for information from where which goods were imported and exported. Now we'll see the art and crafts. Art and craft, art and sculpture of the Harappan civilization, art of sculpture. Now see here you can see that male torso. Okay, then in between you have mother goddess, and then you have that bearded man we had studied in the source of information, isn't it? Now next, see this is the different art and architecture. See there, here dancing girl is there, pot is there. Okay, so these are the different sculpture made by the Harappan civilization. Indus people excelled in the art of carving. The figures of animals show a high degree of perfection. Many seals were found with figures of various animals such as bull, buffalo, bison and elephant. So they used to have the made sculptures of animals also. They used to carve animals, and their carving was also very beautiful. High degree of perfection was seen in their art and craft. Okay. Next, different designs and figures of men, animal, birds and trees painted on earthenware show the artistic skills of these people. They painted geometric patterns colors on pottery. Now you can see this pots in the picture. See, something is inscribed on it. So sometimes pictures of men are there, animals, birds, geometric patterns. All these different styles were used by the Harappan people in their art and sculpture. See this arts and crafts. See toys they have made, isn't it? Small toys they have made. Okay, pots are also there. See pottery, different kinds of pots they made, isn't it? Different shapes of pots, and they had inscribed something on this pots also. Sometimes it is geometric patterns, sometimes it is some scripts are written on it like that. Okay. Then see, Harappan potters made pottery of various shapes and sizes on a pottery wheel. Different types of pots and vases were made. Pots for regular use were plain, and those used for preserving valuables were glazed and painted. So the pots which were used for regular uses, they kept it plain, and those which were used for some extraordinary purposes, that were extra means some expensive things or something like that, that were glazed, and very glossy finish was given to those pots. Okay. Now we move further. Now, apart from all these things, now see, art of spinning was also practiced by the Harappan people. They had a wonderful skill of spinning and weaving. Okay. Now see, a piece of woven cloth was also found along with many textile impressions on several objects, pointing us that weaving was an important craft. Okay. A large number of spindles and wheels were found in their houses. Dyer's vat was also found. So these are the various instruments which are used in the spinning purpose. Now you can see here, thread is shown in the picture, then dyer's vat is shown over here, okay. Wheels are shown. So these things they had in their houses, means after the excavation these things were found in their houses, so that we come to know that Harappan people were good at spinning. Okay. Next, now apart from that, goldsmith. Okay. So the people apart from agriculture were involved in writing, some were involved in art and craft, some were involved in trade, some were involved in the activity of spinning, okay, and some were goldsmith also. Okay, now see what were the activities of goldsmiths. Goldsmiths made gold, silver and precious stones jewelry articles like necklace, armbands, bangles, bracelets and earrings. They made vessels of copper and bronze. So vessels of copper and bronze was very special that time, and those were made by the goldsmiths. Apart from that, goldsmiths made ornaments made out of gold, silver, okay, precious diamonds. So all these materials were used by the goldsmiths to make jewelry. You can see the pictures of the jewelry. See, you can see over here the picture is being shown. See, the necklaces are there, armlets are there, armbands, bangles are there, okay, bracelets are there, earrings are there. See, in the picture all they have shown the kind of jewelry they used to have. Now, decline of the Harappan civilization. Now finally we come to the end of the chapter, that is decline of the Harappan civilization. Now somewhere or the other this Harappan civilization had come to an end. Now what were the reasons for the decline of Harappan civilization? What were the reasons for the decline of Harappan civilization? First is floods and climatic change. Okay. Now see, this Harappan civilization experienced huge floods. There was flood in the Indus Valley civilization, in the Indus River, and because of that Harappan people had to suffer, and many people died because of floods. And there was climatic change, lot of aridity was there, extreme dryness was there, and because of this extreme dryness the temperature became very hot, and there was a situation where they could not grow up their food grains. Okay, so in that extreme aridity case, that time many people died. So this was the reason for the decline of Harappan civilization. Next is deforestation. Now one reason, major reason for deforestation is cutting of trees. Okay, deforestation itself means cutting of trees. Trees were cut on a large scale to make bronze, because bronze, that metal was at its peak. So to make bronze, for the production of bronze, wood was used, and that is why there was large falling of trees, and this led to deforestation, which ultimately led to the climatic changes. Okay, so because of all these things there was a decline in the Harappan civilization. Then attack. Now, it is believed that now Aryans came into existence, and here Aryans, when they came into existence, Aryans made an attack on the Harappan people. So that is why Harappan civilization declined, and after this second lesson is all about your Aryans, that is the Vedic period. So now after this the Aryans will come into existence. And then you have earthquake. Harappan people experience earthquake after that, just because of the climatic change and all those things. There was disturbance sorry, there was disturbance in the nature, so they faced earthquake also. So these were the different reasons for the decline of Harappan civilization. Okay, we just look at the slide. Floods and climatic change, heavy rainfall affected agriculture and stock breeding, decrease in fertile land because of the expansion of the nearby desert. Sudden floods can be a few reasons for the decline. Now see, when there is a sudden flood, people are not prepared for this situation. That time if they experience flood but natural, they will lose their lives. And this was one reason for the decline of Harappan civilization. Then deforestation. Indus Valley was Bronze Age civilization, so enormous quantities of wood was needed to produce produce bronze. Wood was also needed to produce jewelry, pottery, bake bricks, boats, furniture, etc., thus leading to deforestation causing the climatic change. So wood was required for n number of purposes, and for this there was enormous falling of trees from the forest, and which led to climatic change because of enormous falling of trees. Then attack. Aryans might have invaded the city. So now it's a time when Aryans are taking an entry and they are making an attack on the Harappans. Okay, an earthquake. They must have faced various earthquakes, and when these are natural calamities which cannot be overcome. So when such natural calamities are there, it is not under the control of anyone. Even today you see we have advanced science and technology, but still when natural disaster take place, natural calamities take place, we don't have any other option. People fall prey to death in front of these natural calamities. So in Harappan situation, Harappan civilization also, because of the earthquakes, people had to die. So these were the different reasons for the decline of Harappan civilization. So that was the end of the chapter of Harappan civilization. From the beginning, we'll just quickly go through it what we have studied. We have seen the meaning of civilization, the triads of civilization, the sources of information of civilization, the extent of the civilization. Yes, then we have seen the main cities. Okay, we have seen the main cities, then we have seen the urban civilization, we have seen the houses, okay, then we have seen the trade, okay, art and sculpture. All these things we have seen in detail, and at last we have seen how the Harappan civilization declined. Finally, that is the end of Harappan civilization. And after this, we will enter into a new period that was called as Vedic period. So in the next session, I'll come up with the Vedic period. So be in touch with me. So I hope you all are enjoying your sessions. Thank you, dear children, for lending your ears for this session.